Howdy neighbors, and welcome to the Plain Spoken Homestead. Today is going to be a recap of episode 5, which I played on earlier this week on Monday. So this is just going to be a synopsis of that. I'm just going to give you a recap on what we talked about on Monday. So earlier this week, we talked about how much land do you really need to start that homestead you're dreaming of. And what that conversation was really about wasn't acreage at all, but whether the systems you imagine are ones that you could actually live with day after day. Remember, we're thinking small and on purpose. That's how we have to do this. Not grand, just small. You're not trying to build your self-sustainable homestead today. Only one small piece of that system this season. Start thinking about what makes sense for you and your family. Is that a small flock of chickens, a small garden, or maybe it's a hutch of rabbits, one male and one female, this year, this season? Just starting your dream. If you're new here, this channel is about simple systems, steady habits, and practical ways of living that make ordinary days run easier, especially through winter. As I get older, the wintertime gets harder and harder each year for me. That's just a part of life. We're just getting older. In episode 5, we talked about small, quiet systems that matter more than big plans and grand dreams. Not because they're exciting, but because they actually work and you will use them. One of the main ideas in this episode was about setting up your day once instead of fighting it all day. That idea shows up again and again in winter routines. My carafes, I make coffee for one, I make hot water for the other. It gets me tea and hot chocolate water all day. My easy toast, when I decide to have toast that day. And I put a big pot on the wood stove, making either soups or stews in the morning. And at the end of the day, it's all ready and waiting on us. When winter sets in, energy's lower. The daylight is shorter. And everything takes a little bit more effort. As you get older, you'll understand that more and more. So the goal isn't to push harder. The goal is to arrange things so that the day carries itself as much as it can. That's where simple routines come in. Having heat already working, food already started, and tools already where you need them to be when you need them. These small systems remove decisions. And decisions are where it wears you down over time. We also talked about how systems don't need to be complicated to be effective. Most of the time, the best systems are the ones that feel almost boring. Talked about it before. I love boring. They actually naturally fit into your daily life. Routines. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you comb your hair, you put on your clothes, you make your coffee, and maybe go feed your chickens. Routines. Boring. If something requires constant motivation, reminders, and extra effort, they usually don't last. They don't for me. It's just so much effort. I just like steady. But when something blends into how you already live, they tend to stick. My plain-spoken perspective, living this way isn't about being extreme or proving anything to anybody. It's only you and your family, me and mine. It's about being realistic. Winter already asks enough. There's no need to add friction where it isn't needed. A pot on the stove, a habit done once in the morning, or a routine that carries you through the evening. These things add up over time. They don't make headlines, but they make life easier, steadier. That steadiness is what the plain-spoken homestead is built on and built around. That hard rock, that foundation. That's how I built it. If episode 5 resonated with you, take one small idea from this week and try it. Maybe it's just the easy toast if you have a propane stove. Or maybe it's finding a carafe, maybe at a thrift store. And you're just heating that water up and it just carries you through the day. Not everything at once, just one thing that makes your day easier and run smoother. And come up with your own ideas. Just add one small routine and just keep the habit going. Thanks for spending time with me today here. I'll see you again in the next episode. Welcome, neighbors, and thanks for viewing the Plain Spoken Homestead. See you soon.